today. We have, he's only cut a couple of the trees, but they were very big. And that's a pretty good size, an old post oak. I think it's going to lay out of the trees here. For that long on the bottom one, you know it's a pretty big one. I think it's going to fall out of the trees into that little open patch over there, though. We'll see in just a moment. Some of these old big ones just like to stand up. We've got a few of them that he clipped the spur on it and they just stood there. They don't stand very long when it's windy. Just about to let go. Yep, there it goes. That is a big one. The butt of it's sitting on a stump, but it's waist high again. Do you see that? Well, this is going to be the last one of the day, maybe the last one we cut on the church house ground for a while. Kind of a supply, demand, and we can cut our things other places, so we probably fix some good somewhere else. Anyway, getting out here finally and doing a little pasture spraying, and it's late for this, but we don't have a lot of choices. Didn't get very good spraying weather through this spring here. Those is what it is kind of things. Wind, it's been windy or been rainy and hadn't worked out good, but today it's still a little bit breezier than I'd like. But it's been working pretty good. I got one load sprayed. Scott got 2 loads sprayed this morning. And my dad got one. late morning and afternoon. He finished his. That's what I'm using. It's a homemade sprayer. I built this years ago. It had a different tank on it. I've been through a few tanks, but still using the same pump that I started out with, the valves and sprayer nozzle. And it does pretty good. It don't spray real wide, about 25, between 25 and 30 feet. And you have to be able to see your last tracks to be able to do any good at this. But spraying some grays on. We still have trouble with some red-headed thistles and those spiny thistles. I don't know. One's Canadian, one's Russian. That's what I've been told. And so we're still trying to spray them, and we have found that we like doing this because we get a bunch of the other pasture weeds rid of, and them things will suck a lot of moisture out of the ground. I'll have cleaner pasture longer than anybody else in my neighborhood that don't spray. And I don't have to worry too much about my hay fields. They stay pretty good. I've got a little bit of thistle problem down at Dad's hay fields that I bought from him, but they stay pretty good because you're always cleaning it off. And I have had times when I've sprayed them too. Stuff got bad enough, and you'll say, well, this ain't very bad. No, it's not right now, but if I don't hit it with some of this, I know that in August the ragweeds will come, and they wreck it. They just flat wreck it. Man, I got one little something blooming red right there. I don't know what it is. Most likely I'm killing it though. I'm out to grow grass, not weeds, briars, and thistles. Cows don't eat them very good. And that's what I'm doing. Making cow feed. A summer's worth of it. Well, this was on Thursday evening. I think the clip before this was on Tuesday afternoon, so give you a little idea when all this is taking place. And I wanted to get down in here. I do have some of them stinking red-headed thistles right there. Something has knocked it all down, and then it's growed back some more, but it's dying now. So yeah, just like that. There's a stump of the tree that Kevin cut down, and just for perspective, my forks are, I believe, 40 inches between them. 39 inches, something like that. This was the one that was doubled. He had a whole tank of fuel in cutting it down before he ever got one side of it on the ground. I was gonna count. I don't think it's as old as what some of them were that we've cut down was this big, but because it grew, you can see the rings are way far apart. It didn't have any competition real close, so it grew real good. But anyway, this is a big old tree. Big old tree. I went to load some firewood with the little LS 160, and look what I found. Whoops. I don't think it lasts very long like that. Tires are less than a year old, but they are wore down some because I don't have no concrete to run it on. It'll do a lot better maybe on tires when I run on the concrete. I won't be so beat up. Rocks and dirt. Well, I guess we're putting the spare on that one. They're supposed to be here to change the tire tomorrow. I may let them guys look at it when they're here. Well, here I am. It's June 6th. Guess we're going on with the short clip thing. Kind of breezy today. It's a little bit afternoon. I've done delivered 2 loads of lumber. Got my Eldred loose from the trailer. I think I need to haul a bull off and 3 or 4 old cows that haven't had calves yet. Caught a couple of them in heat, so they ain't gonna have calves, but a little look at my garden. I can't keep my tomato plants from being affected when I spray my pastures near here with Grazon. It's just kind of a strange thing. Help's gone to camp this week. Many of my viewers know that I pastor a church, but my oldest son that saws for me, him and his wife are youth leaders at his church, so they go to the same church camp as the group from my church does. And so he's gone to take kids to camp this week. You can see I got a flat tire. I run something through the sidewall on it coming out of the woods on Saturday. Every time I work on Saturday. Oh, there's those 2 trees right there are ones that was in that fork tree that I put the bucket over and took a little photo of. That one there across the base is wider than my arm is long, from my shoulders to my fingertips, and that was the small one. I did, however, get my, I'm not sure if I've even showed this, we poured a pad for my firewood. I have trouble loading it without getting in the dirt and stuff, and so we poured this pad in here, and I'm gonna move my firewood business over into this building. I'm planning to move all of my hay storage into the one building, so I'm gonna have to take all that stuff I put to stack square bales on and pack it up and put it over there where I've been making firewood. And so I may work on that some this week while my help's gone, but what I was gonna do right now is go do some edging. Those, I cut 5 big logs out of 2 trees, and then all of that except for 1 log came out of the top of that one big tree that I cut Saturday. But we don't have to saw yet. A friend of mine that saws had a need for some big cants. Kind of have to have big logs to make big cants. I'm talking like a 14 by 14 or something like that. And I done some of this the other day, but I've got that little pile of edging right there to finish up. And I finished 1 whole bundle of 10 foot, remember Friday maybe. And then I've got this bundle of 8 foot stuff started here, and it's gonna have thick on the back side and thin on the front. And we'll make it a bundle that fits just like the others do. I wanted to get to this edger so that I could show my real steel board edger. There's some other channels on YouTube that have these, and one of them is Lumber Capital Log Yard. I know she's on Instagram too. Theirs is newer than mine. Theirs has heavier rollers than mine does, and it's a good thing. I don't know, maybe the guy was just starting and trying something, but the bearings, that actually is the best one of the rollers that's still in it. But I wasn't wanting to really show you about the rollers. You can see the way this is set up. I've got an old ear corn conveyor that takes my sawdust out. And I run it on electric. It's got a 15 horse electric motor on it now. Originally it had a 13 horse Honda gas engine, and this one it takes a lot more to stop this one than that other one. But right away when I got this, we went having problems with chunks of bark, and on this oak lumber, you can see that chunk of bark laying right there on the lid. Those chunks of bark would get hung up in the little screen they had. Only reason for the screen was so that people wouldn't do something stupid like what I've done. But they had a screen right down in there that just went across the bottom of this, right in there, to keep you from getting your hands into them blades. Well, and I'm glad to see that it's still ripped. In 1997, we were making a whole bunch of cut-to-length pallet stringers and railroad ties, and so we would have a whole bunch of stuff piled up to go through this edger. And when I got help, I would get somebody to help me edge, and we would stack it on a set of runs that's right there, and then pull it through and cut it to length with that chop saw, 3 boards at a time, and stack them up. It took 1,500 of those to make a load on my trailer. I tried to take them a load of those every week. You can keep this lumber deal going every week. You'll have an income that way. And if you don't, well, you don't have an income. But them blades have been set just about like that. That's a 3.5 inch between them so that we can run stringers. And if you look right down in there, you can see a little hole in that black plastic. And that is where I was holding that up with my hand while the machine was running and trying to clean the sawdust out of that conveyor, because the conveyor had plugged up first thing when we got here, and I should have shut the machine off. Always shut the machine off. But I didn't do it, and the blades caught my glove and drug my hand into the blades. I had it back real quick, but it had mangled my left thumb really badly. It actually had cut straight up through the face of it. And some of you all recognize it. I know people that know me already know that I'm missing my left thumb. I have been since 2017, 5 years ago today, on June 6th to be exact. And it was running that machine. So, but I won. I'm gonna win today too. I'm gonna run this machine and finish making some lumber here. And I don't need a left thumb apparently to be able to do that, because I've been doing that successfully for several years without my left thumb. And don't let things keep you from doing what you need to do. You just become an overcomer. And if any of you guys have never watched, there's a farmer on YouTube that has a serious accident with a grain auger when he was but a wee lad. I think he was younger than 5 and doesn't have any arms at all. His name's Andy Detweiler. Harmless Farmer is the name of his channel. You ought to go check him out. Really inspirational. That guy, ain't nothing he can't do. And in the last couple of years here, he's had cancer. And he overcome that. So we're overcomers. Thumb or no thumb. That don't matter. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I'll get off here. Hope you enjoy my videos. Thanks for watching. Especially want to say thank you to my buddy Fred Mills. Fred came and helped my wife and I out that day that I cut my thumb off 5 years ago today on June the 6th of 2017. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.